Welcome to the show, everybody. Micah with CoronavirusDiaries, and I'm blessed to be here today with Mark Suarkeo, a social entrepreneur, traveler, all-around awesome human being. We met each other actually when we were in Phuket, and Mark taught me how to surf, amongst many other things. Super cool dude, but I'm not gonna say too much. I'll let Mark share a little bit about who is he, where has he been, what's he do, and we'll go from there. So, Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Micah, pleased to be here. Thanks for the call. Still great to connect with you again. My name is Mark Suarkeo. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Grew up in the suburbs of Los Angeles. Went to school out there. I have a background in healthcare. I was working at UCLA Medical Center for 11 years as a clinical certified prosthetist, orthotist. I was making artificial limbs and braces, mostly for amputees who went through amputations from diseases like diabetes, and traumatic accidents, cancer, stuff like that. But in 2015, I decided to resign and kind of leave the healthcare corporate world and just kind of want to do my own thing and get into trying to create something for myself. I also wanted to give back more to my roots. My dad being from Thailand, my mom being from the Philippines. That's why I decided to move to Phuket, Thailand, and unfortunately got to meet wonderful people, including you. Did do some volunteer work in the prosthetics field still over there in Phuket town. So that was one of the things that I wanted to pursue, was to provide healthcare service whilst not having to treat it as like a job. So, but during that time, I also got into learning about how I can monetize stuff online. Started researching about things like affiliate marketing and learning how to create a website from scratch, which I never knew how to do. So created surfthailand.com, shared about the surf information out there, and also just to help promote the local surf companies and kind of give them a little bit boost and with all the tourism that they get over there. And so kind of had fun with that. And just over time, I kind of realized that I was still in one place, being someone who loves to travel. I wanted something where I can work remotely, but still be able to have the freedom to travel to somewhere else if I wanted to. I didn't want to be in Phuket all the time. If I wanted to go back to LA, for example, and visit friends and family, I still wanted to be able to make money. So that's when I kind of learned more about e-commerce. And so I learned how to create a Shopify store, create a spreadmoresmiles.com, which, I learned from scratch as well, and got that going for a little while. Had some struggles with that over the year. And along that time also had some personal issues. And so things have definitely evolved, but I guess I should mention that I'm currently in Siargao, Philippines now.
Yeah, I was going to mention that for the
I forgot to mention that.
the viewers or the listeners. Mark is in the Philippines right now, and you had decided. Part of the reason I want to let the viewers and listeners know is there will likely be some interruptions in connectivity. We're just going to roll with it. Welcome to the new world. This is kind of the digital communication age that we got to adapt with. But Mark, thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
I'm interested to go down this route of being an entrepreneur, problem solving, but specifically as it pertains to kind of what's going on right now with the COVID pandemic, right? So you were in the Philippines. We had a mutual acquaintance. We were talking before we started recording that they decided to bail from the Philippines and get back to the States, LA, and you decided to stay, and now you're stuck there indefinitely, correct?
Yeah. So, community quarantine, things are closed. We're usually, it's a little bit of a hold up here. Normally there's tourists roaming around, surf spots here, bars, restaurants, resorts. They're all closed right now. They do have some delivery options, but But as a matter of fact, now there's there's checkpoints, checkpoints where you need a quarantine pass to get through to show that you're a resident. So you have to actually go to the barangay hall, they call it, to get your official quarantine pass, so that if you need to go get your essentials like your groceries, which are open, you need to show that, and that's the only way you can get around.
So how
And
long have the checkpoints been in place for in your area?
it's been about a week now, I think. Yeah, officially about a week, maybe a little bit less.
So it seems like they're taking it fairly serious in that area.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, also they've stopped all domestic flights and boat trips to and from Manila, and that was uh, March 14, I believe.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean there had been some planes, I think some military planes that were, because they were advising tourists who were here for vacation or holiday, they were advising them to leave before they can potentially get stuck here, because they don't know, we don't know how long this lockdown will be. So there were a couple military planes who have been taking tourists after the limiting of the flights, but as far as I know, there's still a decent number of tourists. I think I heard 100 or so tourists on the island.
Okay. And are they
Who've
talking about
decided to stay.
anything? Are they talking about anything with visas, passport issues, or is the government just kind of making exceptions?
As far as I know, I actually have a friend also from Austin, Texas, who's here, moved here shortly before I did. She just got her visa extended, but she told me that they're still gonna charge you if you go over your extension. So
Wow.
I have to go get mine extended in the next week or so somehow. Or I think what she did was have somebody take it for her. I'm not sure on the details on that, but yeah, I just got to pay for that.
So for the viewers, if you haven't been able to tell already, Mark, super chill dude. And so this is, as far as people that I've met along the way, you've definitely been one of the most grounded, chill, relaxed individuals. And it was always nice just to be able to hang out with you, because no matter what was going on, it was mellow.
Yeah,
What's
thanks, man.
what's your take? Like, how are you approaching this new change, this new thing that we're calling the COVID pandemic? Like, how is it changing what you've been trying to do for the past couple of years, if anything?
Yeah, well, personally, I just kind of been taking it day by day, kind of doing things to relax a little bit more. Things like meditation, working out, staying healthy, eating the right foods personally, and, lowering the risk by not going out as much unless I have to. Um, but in terms of work, yeah, with our launch, one of the things I've been working on was this other e-commerce site. I've transitioned from Spread More Smiles and decided to close that down because I just didn't have enough marketing support with that, because I started Squicker,
The spread
paperless.
more smiles for the listener. That was 100%. It was product based, right? It was clothing, and it was
Yeah,
okay.
that
So
was an
that
apparel brand, and I had 12 different nonprofits that were partnered with us. One of them including Smile Train. One of them was Grom Nation Siargao, which is a local NGO here in Siargao. And basically, the shirt design was made specifically for that nonprofit, and proceeds from that shirt sale would go to those nonprofits. The concept of spreading more smiles and show the people who are less fortunate or in greater need. That was the concept, but that was just me at the time, so I just didn't have enough support to kind of pursue that. So just in the past few months, I decided to partner up with my friend who's based in Toronto. His name is Donnie. He's an animal rights vegan activist, and me being vegan for almost 4 years now, he kind of started something as more of a personal brand, as a social media on Instagram is called Vegan as Fuck, and it's spelled
Say that again.
FVCK.
What is it again?
Yeah, it's called Vegan as Fuck is what he started, but it's spelled FVCK is how he spells it, and it's basically just a simple logo he came up with. He's printed some shirts, and we actually met through social media on Instagram before we met in person, just through the online vegan community. And so over that time of past couple of years, we could stay connected. We actually met in LA when I went back to LA. He was there at a vegan street fair, and yeah, just in the past several months, I just had the concept of an idea to really target the niche down um, to this vegan that he started, and there was nothing that there's no products that he started at all. It was just his personal brand and his influence on spreading the animal rights movement and the health and wellness benefits of veganism. So I decided to close Spread More Smiles, and because he's so active in social media, I decided he would be the perfect partner to work on veganisfuck.com. So
That's
during
awesome.
that time,
It just
months,
goes
it
goes to show everybody that's listening that you can still do networking, you can still do collaborations, you can still do business internationally, separated by oceans. It's just a matter of making it happen and taking that initiative.
yeah, yeah. And to be honest, at first it was hard to kind of admit that I need to close spreadmoresmiles.com. That was the first thing that I started on my own. I tried to hold on to it for a little bit, but I just realized I need to let it go. It's just losing money right now. So that was kind of a pivot where I saw the opportunity with Donnie, who is ideal for marketing side of it.
So when you made that pivot, was that purely a financial decision that the cost reward, it just wasn't there in terms of what you were putting into it? Did that make sense? We might have lost connection.
That's okay. It wasn't only financial. I mean, I knew that that could be a little. Well, I knew there is more potential with Vegan as Fuck, because I just didn't have as much time. I was juggling a couple different things. I started that Squicker, which is the paperless digital business card. So I was taking on a couple things at once, and to do the marketing for the e-commerce site was just too much for me. And while starting the tech startup Squicker, working on that with Toon in Phuket, so another remote business partner. And so that's when I started putting in the products. It's a print-on-demand apparel brand, Vegan as Fuck. And at the same time, during this transition, especially, I kind of got more into plant-based nutrition. I even took a plant-based nutrition certification through eCornell's online certification program. Just getting more into that. My personal mission became more of sharing ways that you can actually prevent disease. So kind of transitioning from treating patients with disease, especially diabetes, and something my mom has been diagnosed with for years now also. So personally, I just wanted to be able to share with people that, you can prevent certain diseases by eating properly, eating well, eating better foods, and exercising.
There's a couple different diabetes, right? There's the one that's comes later in life, and then there's the one that like some people are born with, right?
So there's juvenile type 1 diabetes, and what most people have is type 2 diabetes, and it's basically associated with diet and lifestyle.
Say that again. You're saying it's associated with diet and
diet. So all these chronic diseases, diabetes, and including our number one killer in the world, which is heart disease, coronary artery disease. They're all associated to diet and lifestyle, which means they can all be prevented. So I think it's a lot of awareness, education, and that all ties into climate change, deforestation, because the beef and cattle industry, the dairy industry are two of the top commodities that are contributing to climate change because of deforestation. Also, soy products that are being used to feed farm animals, agriculture. So, so that's one of the things that we're trying to educate and bring more awareness to with Vegan as Fuck. It's not just apparel; it's awareness, and it's showing that animals are sentient beings as well, so they feel pain, they feel suffering, and we're actually partnered with a group called Animal Save Movement. They're a grassroots organization as well, and what they do is they hold these what they call pig vigils. One of which I've joined in Los Angeles, where basically a group of volunteers, they wait at the slaughterhouses and they wait for the trucks to come in loaded with pigs who are en route to being slaughtered. And so they have an agreement with the slaughterhouses where the trucks will stop, and volunteers will kind of feed them or give them water and just kind of show a little bit of compassion, but at the same time just kind of raise awareness and share things on social media to show what the pig looks like, what they're going through, and kind of raise awareness. You've probably seen Joaquin Phoenix do that, and he kind of became he's got a lot of media for the things that he's been doing, and that's the group that he was involved with as well, Animal Safe Movement.
I think one of the big things that's going to be happening, and globally, from a social perspective, is hopefully, I'm having the faith, bro, but I believe on a global perspective, there's going to become a lot more awareness of, it's going to be more about we as opposed to me, hopefully.
Yeah.
Because right now that's the paradigm, even though it might not be impacting 80% of people really significantly, there's this percentage that it could very well impact very significantly. And just in life in general, right? Like the energy that you spread is kind of the energy that comes back. So
right, and just that's this whole thing about the flattening the curve idea is we're all in this together. We all have to do our part. We all have to stay quarantined, stay home as much as possible. As much as we feel the need to go out and want to go out and socialize or do whatever, we need to do our part so that for humanity's sake and for everyone else's sake, we need to contribute to that and work together and collaborate and
be stronger together. Yeah, be a big team, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think so. I know you've got your own stuff going on, and my day is kind of trailing off as I speak. It's been a long one, but before I let you go, Mark, was there anything that we didn't touch on that you were hoping to share, or talk about?
Well, I guess I was going to mention about the Vegan as Fuck, what we are doing now to try to pivot to what's going on with the COVID-19, because we're about to launch our site. I was creating a vegan starter guide, which I've been working on these past 2 weeks during this quarantine. But we're deciding to pivot a little bit and maybe add some supplements and maybe some health products, because I've done some research and noticed that online sales are dipping in certain areas, but they're actually increasing in other areas like health food and exercise equipment. So that's going to be kind of one of our pivots, and see how that goes.
Yeah, everything that Mark has been talking about, I'll have in the links down below. And if you got questions for Mark or myself, leave those in the questions down below as well. For anybody that's new to the channel, the plan moving forward is we're going to try to arrange so that we're able to kind of get these about every 7 to 10 days, something like that. And eventually, hopefully, if we get enough engagement or we get enough interest, we're going to start like a live session where people can have direct engagement, maybe ask Mark questions about what's going on in the Philippines in terms of the surf, or other questions in terms of what's going on with the vegan movement. So with that, Mark, I want to say thank you so much, man. It was really good to connect, and I'm looking forward to connecting again. It had been too long, and really, really appreciate your
Yeah.
time coming on the show.
Yeah, my pleasure, Mike. I appreciate. Yeah, looking forward to talking to you again.